Hello all and welcome back. Of course, this is Roger. Sorry for the little delay, but we're back on track. And as you can see, we are about to do the shopping phase in Dungeon Crusade. And I want to explain something real quick that Michael, brought up about the Avalon Adventure board game. So I'm going to just briefly touch on this because I want to keep, I want to keep it on the game. Shopping phase. We're going to show you what you do if you are not going to play the Avalon Adventure board game. If you play the Avalon Adventure board game, you travel. There's like a little board game. Well, it's kind of a big board, and it's the map of Avalon, and you have to travel around to different locations, and and you have to recover the 3 runes that will shatter the curse on the dungeon doors. You're going to find loot. You're going to find gold out there. You're going to do like micro dungeon delves, explore towers, crypts, get into trouble in villages, tons of things. There's over 250 pieces of creative writing for that. And Michael was just kind of, he didn't understand like how this all works. So the shopping phase we're going to see now, you do this if you do not play the Avalon Adventure board game. If you play the Avalon Adventure board game, you skip this section we're about to do because you find your gold and your fortune and your loot out in Avalon. So we'll get to that. That's the very last thing we have to put together right after the final quests, and that's it. Dungeon Crusade is done. So I hopefully Michael and others I explained that for you. So as I said, we're here in the village, and we're going to. I've been sifting through the common stuff, so I think I have a pretty good idea what we're going to get, but we have to see what the hero's going to have for gold. First things first, I wanted to just address a couple things because I know there's a lot of new subscribers to the channel. Hello and thank you very much. It's nice that you're here, and thank you for the interest and time with Dungeon Crusade. We really appreciate it. We're glad you're here. Um, First things first, all the monsters in Dungeon Crusade that ship with the game, these are normal difficulty monsters. Okay, in the Pledge Manager, I'm creating expert monsters and heroic. And you're going to see like warfare values are going to increase a little bit. Their health is going to increase. The odds of their special abilities are going to become greater. The attribute test your heroes are going to have to do to avoid these special abilities are going to go up. But it's gradual, okay? So it's going to like normal, expert, heroic. It's a nice gradual increase. So we're playing with normal difficulty monsters. Wanted to mention that. Another thing is I'm a solo board gamer. I'm a diehard. Ever since I was a kid, I've played these games and PC games. I think some of you know my history. I have dungeon crawlitis. It's a condition of being, sucked into these games. And since I'm a diehard soloist gamer, I built this from the ground up for the soloist board gamer at heart. Of course, this can be played co-op. But this was designed for the soloist board gamer. But co-op people, of course, can play this too. And with Groovis Games Unlimited, that's my aim. I want to explore and pioneer new ways to play board games solo. Because that's all that I'm about. So you're not going to see very many competitive games or verses. I'm totally for the soloist board gamer. So I just wanted to say that when I designed this, the monsters, everything in this game, it was aimed at you soloist people. Because I know I saw for years people enjoy playing, especially these kind of games, solo. So there you go. I wanted to say that. And lastly, because it seems like there's a lot of people curious now about this. There's 4 dungeon boards for Dungeon Crusade. Okay, and of course we're on the Ancient Runes one. Hopefully you can see all that. This is just a little poster board. All the dungeon boards measure 3 by 2 feet. And so there's Ancient Runes. The other one is Castle Blackwood, kind of like a winter setting around it. And then the interior castle. I had fun designing this one. I designed all of them. And of course, these awesome artists painted them. Awesome work. And then there is the Cavern of Lost Souls. There's like an outdoor area and then a creepy cavern inside, then kind of like a dungeon area to the back. This is a very cool one. So this is kind of like a more open kind of dungeon. And then lastly, one of my favorite, this is my tip of the hat to Dungeon Quest, the Tomb of Kaladar. and this is one deadly dungeon. There's traps all over it and environmental hazards. So there is 4 dungeon boards for Dungeon Crusade. I wanted to mention that. Okay, we're done now. I'm sorry about that, but I wanted to touch on that. So let's see. We got to talk about these quests, okay? Because that's, we're on our quest table 1. And so before we do the gold, I'd like to share with you the quest we're going to have to do. Now, the level 2 and level 3 ones we're just going to wait on, okay? Because we're not even going to be, doing those. So we're just going to stick to our level 1 quests are right here. And if you wouldn't mind, I will read these to you, what we're going to be doing. Since the heroes, of course, in the village, so they're being approached by a few locals. And remember, this is the first scenario. They're not going to be killing dragons or anything. They're going to be doing some pretty basic stuff. But the first one here is called the Baron's Wine. As the evening draws in, the heroes head into the village tavern for some much-needed rest after a long journey to Witherbrook. Remember, I showed you that on the map. Upon entering the tavern, a stout and slightly drunken older gentleman approaches the heroes. My word, look at these grand adventurers before me. I welcome you to Witherbrook. He takes a few steps back and looks the heroes up and down. May I ask a small favor of you? I am Baron Bartholomew Whitmore. I owned much of the land surrounding the ancient ruins and would use some of the chambers within the ruins to store my prized wine collection. We can no longer enter the ancient ruins because of these blasted monsters. I would like you to enter into the ancient ruins and retrieve 2 bottles of my sparkling cherry Jubilee wine. However, there's a slight problem. I dropped the key to the wine collection within the spider lair the last time I was there. You must first find the key that unlocks the door to the wine collection. Okay, so that's like the one side, and the other one here is the objective. And this is just straight talk where I'm talking to you, just what we have to do, what our heroes have to do. So they've got to, retrieve 2 bottles of wine for Baron Whitmore, and the key is within the ancient depths. And I'm going to show you right over here to get the lay of the land. The spider lair is right, hopefully you can see that down here, is like right there in that area. So the key is somewhere there, and that's the nice thing. It's always kind of random. You're never going to know where that key is at in there. Then, it's the onyx key, which is kind of red. Notice the red bases on the door. You have to find the onyx key. The heroes have to find the onyx key to unlock these red doors here. And that's the cool thing in Dungeon Crusade, that I have a key system. There's like a ivory key, which is blue, that will unlock blue doors or with blue bases. And there's a few, like the golden key will unlock yellow doors, and then there's another key, the green key. So there's a key system. So when you design your own quests, you're going to have a lot of fun with the key system. So that is the first one, the Baron's Wine. And so we have to get the wine back. We have to find the key. This is a side quest. That's the one to mention too. See the red book here and the blue book? Just like on the quest table, right here. Same exact thing. So, this one is called Chambers of the Corrupt. A young captain of the Avalon Valiant Army comes rushing up to the heroes. Friends, please wait, I must speak with you at once. He explains that his men have pinpointed an area of the ancient ruins where a specific group of monsters reside that have been a significant cause of the recent raids to the village. He explains that 2 of his men sustained injuries in the last assault in an attempt at dealing with this threat. He is asking for the heroes to venture into this area of the dungeon and eradicate these monsters in hopes of lessening the raids on the village. And this is basically a kill and clear quest. You're going to see different kinds of quests, and these are kind of just fun. This is go in and just wipe them all out. Heroes need to venture forth into the ancient ruins to an area known as the Tomb of St. Viticus, north and south, eradicate a group of monsters. And by the setup, we're going to be dealing with level 1 monsters here, and maybe an empty chamber. Something I want to add too, these are, I purposely designed these to be, to get you acclimated. However, later quests, when you might see there might be a level 2 monster that might be thrown in with a level 1. So that's a very nice random factor that when, let's take you over here to the Tomb of St. Viticus. Um, so in later quests, we don't know what's in these chambers. There could be a level one. Well, there is a level one, and there could be an empty chamber in here. But later ones, there could be a level two, maybe a level one. So that's something too that I wanted to do for you. It's always random. You're never going to be sure what's in there. And just tying into the lore of that I wrote for this game. Notice this is the tomb of Saint Viticus. If you notice way up there on the map, see the tower there? There's the tower of Saint Viticus. So all these locations are kind of tied into the dungeons and the lore that I wrote. And that was really important, not to get too deep, but just to whet your appetite and just make it more immersive for you. Okay, I'm sorry I was talking a lot in this video, but I wanted to say all that stuff at the beginning. Hopefully you didn't mind. I'm going to upload this as soon as we come back. We are going to do the gold. We're going to see how much the gold had, or the heroes have for gold. So we already know these people in Witherbrook has come up to the heroes, and they know what they have to do. We have our quests. So now we're going to see how much gold the heroes have to start with. And we're going to do that right when I come back. See you in a few.